always. He cleans like a professional.
Well, I worked with a cleaning company when I was younger, part-time on weekends, you know, to make a little money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
On our first date, I told you that.
Oh, I was so nervous that night. And the restaurant we went to was so noisy. Did Kurt help you at all, Ralph?
I did not ask him for help.
And I had something else to take care of, which is why I didn't volunteer.
Kurt never helps me with the housework.
That is not true. I offer, but you usually say, no thanks.
You drop things, you break things.
Accidents happen. You don't blame someone for that.
Well, I always believe there's intention behind accidents.
I wonder who it is.
Probably the housekeeper from the hospital.
Pauline, you are not going to welcome Julian in that dress, are you?
Why not?
Pauline!
I thought he could, feast his eyes on me. I mean, the poor guy hasn't been with a woman in, 10 years? God.
Why don't you leave him
I
alone?
can't wait to see him. He would be my first murder. The thought makes me all mushy. Oh, we used to have fantasies about O.J. Simpson.
Pauline, there was a time and a
Stop
place.
it, you guys. What was that phone call about? Was it from the hospital?
No. It was Kate's lawyer, Eugene Landauer, Esquire. Why do lawyers always put Esquire?
What did he say?
He has a crush on me.
Pauline, what did the lawyer say?
There's been a change in plans. The bottom line is that they will be an hour late.
What
That means they won't be here till 5 o'clock.
Oh, one more thing. Eugene is not going to be joining us. He's going to drop off Julian and go to the hospital.
To the hospital.
Why?
To see Kate.
Well, did he tell you why she wants to
All
see
he
him?
said was he was going to the hospital to see her.
I bet she's going to make another will.
That would be interesting.
Why else would a dying woman want to see her lawyer?
Oh, maybe she's changed her mind about his reinstated her old will. Is there any way to find out?
Well, I can call up Eugene.
Oh, don't do that. He'll tell Kate.
Eugene Landauer, I think I know him. He was a clerk at the Supreme Court when I was clerking there. Tall, thin fellow, red curly hair? Duke University graduate.
You know him.
Well, sure. I mean, all us clerks used to meet at this tavern called Amicai Curie to debate pending.
Yeah, okay. Can you speak to him?
Yeah, I can do that.
Good man. I'll get you his number.
Now, I'm not going to talk to him today. I mean, it'd be more appropriate to speak to him tomorrow.
Maybe she'll disinherit us altogether. Who knows what she'll do? My stomach's all knotted up. Something bad is going to happen. I have this feeling.
Honey, I have it too. Come here.
Well, I don't want to be left out. Me too. Me too. Hey, we're like three witches. Double, double, toil and trouble. Let the cauldron boil and bubble.
You're getting on my nerves.
What's wrong, love?
Oh, I know what's bothering her.
What?
Guilt.
Please, Pauline.
Why not come out with it?
I don't understand what this is all about.
Yeah.
We never went to visit Julian in prison. That's our guilty little secret.
Why do you want to bring that up now, Pauline? Can't you see what you're doing to Norma?
We never went to visit him. Not once. Not once. Yeah. We no longer thought of him as our brother, but as a criminal. A murderer.
Will you stop it, Pauline? You shouldn't be doing this.
We grew up together. He was our little favorite. I used to buy him packets of goldfish, the Pepperidge Farm packets. Oh, he was such a cute little guy, so affectionate.
Son, there's a time and place for sentiment, and now's not the time.
We are here to ensure that Julian has a warm welcome on his first day home. You should remain calm, unemotional, listen to his words carefully, observe his body language, and do the best you can to facilitate his re-entry into the world of freedom.
Yeah. What I can't figure out is how this guy got his sentence reduced.
You mean you don't know?
I don't have a clue.
Kate wrote a big fat check for the governor's re-election campaign. And the governor, to show his gratitude, reduced Julian's sentence so he could be released from prison, with a promise that 5 years later, he would pardon Julian.
Now that is interesting.
Yeah, well, the governor did it in a nice way, of course, to be above suspicion. He cut taxes, and to balance the budget, he had to cut costs, so the state could no longer afford to keep inmates in at the present level. The governor proposes a 15% reduction rate, and all those with good records are let out on parole.
I'll be darned, that old fox. He knows how to play the game.
How do you know this, Pauline?
Landauer Esquire told me 4 months ago when I was here. He was the one who arranged the deal.
Did you go out with him, Pauline?
So what if I did, Norma? I slept with him. Only once. I mean, he may be good at drafting wills, but he does not get a passing grade, and you know what? He also snores. I mean, like, oh, foghorn, like, shit. I talk too much. I must learn to keep my mouth.
Amen to that.
Well, I guess I should get in touch with Landauer sooner than later.
Yeah, sooner than later.
All right, you know
Oh,
what?
stop it, you
No,
guys.
this is a family matter, isn't it? Kate wouldn't like it if too many people got involved.
Well, Ralph also has a stake in this, Norma. Kate and he were very close. In fact, she was the one who suggested that he should run for office.
I'm not gonna ask Landauer any direct questions. I just tell him I'm calling up to talk about old friends. I mean, as I say, we were clerks together back in the day.
I don't like all the scheming that's going on.
Nobody is scheming.
Norma, calm down.
Don't touch me.
Norma!
Whoa. He's here.
Julian? I'm Janice. I'm your sister.
How you doing?
This is Norma and this is Pauline. They two are your sisters.
How y'all doing?
This is my husband, Ralph. This is Kurt, Norma's friend. Won't you sit down, Julian?
So, it's your first day as a free man. How is it going so far?
I remember you. You used to call me Flash, right?
Yes, that's right. I used to call him that because he would run around the house with his Polaroid camera yelling, "Flash!"
I remember that. He must have taken dozens of our
Oh, I
pictures.
remember all three of us chipping in and buying him a real camera for his 14th birthday.
Yeah, I remember that. Haven't had a fucking birthday all these years.
But we'll celebrate your next one. We'll make up for all the lost ones.
I don't think I've been in this house before.
Your mother moved here 10 years ago from New York City after the death of your stepfather. This was part of his estate.
Yeah, my stepfather. Fucker never came to see me. Son of a bitch hated me.
Oh, he wasn't a well man. He couldn't move around easily.
Would you like something to drink? We have some really great wine.
I'll pass. I haven't tasted alcohol these years. I don't know what it'll do to me.
Well, you're free now, Julian. You can do what you want. Must be wonderful, being out of the cage. Sort of like a lion let loose in the wilderness.
No, like a lion out of a cage, like a fucking fish out of water. Yeah. No, maybe I'm confused by all the sights and sounds I've seen or heard all these years, but fuck, today was being driven through the city streets, the sea of white faces. You know, in prison there were only two white guys, Stevenson and Holden, and Holden was killed Holden was killed last week by some black dude. With Holden out of the way, Stevenson was the only one there, and I think the fucking niggers were planning to kill him, and then me next. Fuck.
You look like you can take care of yourself. I mean, look at you, such a big strapping guy. It's so unlike what you were when we last saw you.
You were so weak and scrawny then.
That was a long time ago.
Well, none of us recognized you when you walked in.
I recognized him, Pauline. He has the same way about him.
I knew who he was.
I had trouble remembering you, let alone recognizing you.
But there must be some trace of memory lingering somewhere.
When you live behind bars, the years slip by, you have to think of the past. You have to think of the present, you can't think of the past. You have to watch your fucking step all the time. You can't let a nigger change a channel when you're watching a TV program. You can't let him cut in front of you or standing like...
Oh, it's over! You are free now!
Free to do what?
Free to return to your old life, Julian. The life you left behind. It's like you've been in exile all these years, living in another country.
You're Pauline, right? Pauline. Yeah, you're talking about my re-entry into the scene. You're right about exile. You know, I've known the outside world all these years through television. And today when I saw real streets and real trees and real pigeons flying over them, I was like, It's like a magic spell had been broken and I was woken up by the touch of a magic wand. Fuck, there were real things happening around me and I was overcome by what I saw. No!
What's the matter, Julian?
My eyes hurt. The sunlight in the streets. I need to lie down for a while in a dark room and just close my eyes.
This is your house, Julian. You can do anything you want.
Oh, well, where can I lie down for a while?
We have a room ready for you upstairs, Julian. I can take you there.
Poor boy. I never expected this.
Yeah, boy, he's a grown man.
He's resting now?
He said he wasn't used to sleeping on such a fine bed. That all these years he had been sleeping on an iron cot with no mattress on it. He then put together 2 chairs and laid on them instead of the bed with his shoes on.
He must have been too tired to take them
I
off.
thought I'd take them off his feet, but I changed my mind when I saw him turn to the side, face the wall, close his eyes. I didn't want to disturb him.
Poor boy. Locked away all these years, he can't bear the sunlight. I feel sorry for him.
That's the way I feel too. He seems so out of place here in this house.
Okay, you 2 ladies are going maternal over here. You're clucking.
Should I go upstairs and lie next to him? You know, cuddle with him.
You leave him alone.
I should write a screenplay about this. About something real. About something happening right before me. About something that I was an eyewitness
Go for
to.
it, love. As I've told you before, you'll have more success if you write about what you really know.
You know what I think? He has built up his body, but underneath all that muscle, he's still the same boy we used to play with.
I did most of the playing.
Alright, look, speaking as a man with some experience in these matters, you have to be careful with somebody that's been released from prison. Especially somebody that's been convicted of murder.
Shouldn't someone go upstairs and calm him down?
Holy shit! It's like King Kong up there. I'm going upstairs.
Colleen,
No.
Comes down here, starts hurling things around. I'm gonna call 911. He's on drugs, you know. I could tell the moment I saw him.
One thing about Pauline, she isn't easily scared.
Oh, girl after your own heart.
Oh, this wasn't the homecoming we were hoping for.
Well, now, I told you to take it easy with all this nonsense and giving this guy a lavish welcome. Go slow, I said. Build it up, but...
What's happening upstairs?
Well, I knocked on the door and there was no answer, so I went in. He put the desk and the chairs around him to form a barricade. He was clutching a pillow and crying.
This is starting to get interesting.
Now, I don't believe that. Look, this guy is a dangerous criminal type. He kind of goes back to jail again and again. You're trying to turn him into, what, sympathetic figure?
He did cry.
Oh,
I wanted to put my arms around him and console him, you know?
We know.
I could only make out about half of what he was saying. It was something like, I'll be back with you, Alonzo.
This is bizarre. Are you making this up, Pauline?
right.
Actually, Norma, this kind of behavior has been reported in some studies. It is plausible.
Yes, I am saying what I saw and heard. And then I said, come down to dinner, Julian. We're waiting for you. And he said he didn't want any fucking dinner and told me to get the fuck out of his room.
This whole idea of a catered reunion dinner was a mistake.
You may be right. We may have been rushing things a bit. We should have waited.
How are we going to handle this?
Kurt. Let Kurt handle this. Kurt, would you please go up?
Okay.
It scared the hell out of me to hear those crashing noises. Hey, Julie must have wrecked the room.
I hope he doesn't come down here and kill us all.
Look, I don't want to say I told you so, but it's time y'all realize that this guy is dangerous. He ought to be locked up. Now, if he starts a ruckus again, I'm going to call
You
cops.
will not call the cops. They wouldn't like it. Besides, Kurt can handle the
Yeah, let's
situation.
not get carried away, okay? I've done things like this myself. Yes, I've thrown furniture and smashed dishes. Sometimes you feel you have to do things like that to keep your sanity. Yes, I see the look of disapproval on your faces.
I don't want to judge anyone, but that kind of behavior puts a strain on people around you.
I'm with you, Janice.
Oh my god! He didn't attack you! It's not like he kicked raped you.
Yeah, well, if he does attack me or Janice, I'm gonna have him arrested and sent back to prison where he belongs, whether Kate likes it or
He
not.
won't attack me.
Well,
Maybe Pauline is right, and he did what he did to release the pent up rage inside of him.
please, God.
Well, we should thank her. You handled yourself very well. Weren't you afraid to go up to his room?
It wasn't that big of a deal.
Nobody else had the guts to do it.
Well, Julian was exhausted when I got up there. He was sitting there with his head on his knees. I sat down next to him. I offered to help him. He looked at me searchingly for a while, his chin still resting on his knees, staring at me as if he didn't know what to make of me. He then asked me for a sleeping pill, and I gave him a tranquilizer and asked him to see me tomorrow morning.
What are you going to do about him?
I don't know. I don't know what I can do for Julian. I don't know if he would be cooperative.
Well, I'm sure if you helped him, Kate would be very appreciative.
Well, I wasn't thinking of a reward.
Well, you must have some motive, Kurt.
Kurt, pay no attention to her.
Well, maybe I do have a motive, though I've never tried to put it into words.
See? Told you.
I want to trace the source of his violence, find out what the root cause is.
The root cause of his violence is his genes. He is violent because he's a criminal. He was born that way.
No psychologist or psychiatrist would agree with you. No one is born a murderer.
Oh, liberals. You make me sick. I'm gonna go for a walk in the woods.
That's a good idea. I'll come with you.
Alright, I'll show you where the ovenbird built its nest.
Oh, Ovenbird! Well, they know how to party. What are you going to do, Norma?
Drive to Boston and see a movie.
Oh, good idea. I'll come with you. What do you want to see?
I don't know, drive around and find one that I like.
Oh, we can go to this restaurant where they have amazing veal scallopini.
I don't feel hungry.
Have a salad then.
All you probably want to do is flirt with some waiter there. It doesn't matter to me, let's just go.
Oh, Kurt. What are you going to do? Do you want to come with us?
No, I'm just gonna stay here and do the Times crossword puzzle.
Do you have today's Times? Kate only subscribes to the Wall Street Journal and the National Review. Where did you get the Times from and why did you hide it from
It's a day old! I saved it! I brought it from New York. I wanted to do the crossword.
Let's go, Norma.
What am I gonna do for dinner?
You know what? It's not my problem.